Shows like the one that was put on tonight is the reason I am still a WWE fan. Shows like the one that we just saw on Monday Night Raw tonight is the reason. Because when WWE gets it right, it's something phenomenal. Yeah, pun intended. Let's talk reaction, review, results. Here we go.
Do I have everybody's attention now?
What's up, jabronis? And I'm happy to call you guys jabronis. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Steven. Twitter is down below if you want to follow me in my antics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you like what you see. But ladies and gentlemen, it is time to recap Monday Night Raw. And oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, I am so happy. I am so happy. Literally, if I had a big button right here that said just said reset, just had a big button right here that had the words reset on it, I'd push it, because this was officially the reset button for WWE. They reset it all. They went to WrestleMania and they decided, you know what, it's gonna be a bad show. People are gonna get booed. Let's just put out what we have and we'll make it up to them on Monday Night Raw, when the crowd is the crowd that you want to make happy. People that are in Dallas, Texas for WrestleMania, only the true fans go to Raw the next day. And this crowd was amazing. We're going to go through the entire show. We're going to give you guys a recap, review, my reaction, my mind blown. I mean, there was almost no negative moments in this show. There was one that I will get to, but there was almost no negative. Make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up because it really helps me out. Ladies and gentlemen, the show tonight started with Vince coming out, giving his whole spew, talking about how he's actually proud of his son a little bit because his son put on a good match, did some things. Vince said he saw his nephews or his grandsons in the crowd and he felt bad for Shane. And then Shane comes out and just wants to tell the crowd thank you. Just wants to say that he's the only man in the family. The crowd starts going crazy. Vince keeps talking about how the crowd is just going to chant whatever they want. And I started thinking that this is where they were going to go. They were going to give reason for the boos and everything like that. You know, they were going to say, oh, well, the boos and everything is because this crowd is crazy. That's why they're booing. Not because he put on a bad show, but because the crowd is crazy. But ladies and gentlemen, Shane comes out. Shane does his little thing. And Vince says, the crowd starts chanting, they want, like, let him run it or something like that, something along those lines. And Vince is like, you know what? Screw it. Let him do it. You run the show. And everybody went crazy. We all know that this doesn't really mean anything behind the scenes. It's just all part of the act. But the fact that we got what we wanted in Shane, this is like the show that we got what we wanted. We got everything we wanted. Us hardcore fans, us NXT fans, us wrestling WWE fans that want it to be good. We got what we wanted. Shane is in control of Monday Night Raw to start the show, pretty much saying what happened at Mania doesn't happen. Fuck it, we'll forget about it. Nobody cares. We gave Undertaker his win. We got a cool spot for Shane to put in his awesome montage. Let us move on to the first amazing moment of the night. Well, let's be honest, the first match of the night was not amazing, but it was pretty decent. It was a decently good match. We got to see the New Day come out. Amazing, do like the New Day thing because the New Day rocks and they're amazing. Came out with the last Booty-O Cereal, and I'm still upset that they didn't get the win at Mania, but nonetheless, they got the win tonight. They beat the League of Crap, the League of Nations, and they decided after the League of Nations lost and people were booing them because the New Day won and got out of the ring, people decided to boo the League of Nations like they always do. Sheamus got on the mic, starts talking a little bit of a promo, and I'm intrigued at what he's going to say. As things are happening, I'm noticing that 3 of the 4 members are standing up and 1 is not. And I'm like, wait, Barrett's the one that's not. And the rumors are saying Barrett's going to retire. He's leaving. And I'm like, they're going to turn on Barrett. They're going to turn on Wade Barrett. And in my head, I'm thinking, why would they turn on Wade Barrett? And I'm like, well, he did get pinned. And then Sheamus goes on into his whole thing about we're only as strong as our weakest link and how we are the most dominant. And then they turn on Wade Barrett, beat him up, kick him out of the ring, and then we get the Wyatts thing come out. And then the Wyatts come out and beat him up. And I'm like, oh, they decided to kick Wade Barrett out because Luke Harper is hurt, and therefore they need a 3 versus 3 at the next pay-per-view. Which I think it's breaking. I think it's Extreme Rules is the next one. So now we know that that's going to be the next pay-per-view. It's the Wyatts versus the League of Nations, and dear God, like if the Wyatts can't win this one, if they can't win this one, guys, they should have been got rid of the Wyatts because they're not doing nothing with them. But if they can't win this one, oh dear Jesus, they need to win this one. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's hope that the Wyatts get a push because it's looking like the Wyatts versus the League of Nations is happening. The Wyatts are going to be the favorites, and we'll hope for the best. We're going to hope for the best. Next, we got our women's match of the night, or not even women's. They're called superstars now. They're not even going to call them women's anymore, which is a thumbs up. We got Summer Rae in the ring, cutting kind of a promo that we don't really care about, but then we hear the music of the boss. The music of Sasha Banks. And Sasha Banks comes out, does a little bit of a mic work with Summer Rae for a little bit, and then they decide to have a match, and Sasha destroys her. Because let's be honest, Sasha is amazing, and Summer Rae is Summer Rae. So, simple enough, we make Sasha look strong because she is strong, and we go from there. Next, we got our first surprise of the night, ladies and gentlemen. Our first surprise of the night. I mean, I guess you can count the Shane McMahon thing as a surprise, but no. Apollo Crews was in the building. Apollo Crews was in the building, ladies and gentlemen. So, Apollo Crews is now on the main roster. He comes out to another music theme song that I just love. I love Apollo Crews' music. And I'm just wondering, who is he going to squash? Who is he going to squash? Is it going to be the Ascension? Is it going to be anybody that we don't care about? No, he's going to squash Tyler Breeze. And I just feel bad for Tyler. Tyler, you're better than this, and you're being squashed by another NXT person. And I'm hoping that the rumors about that Cody Rhodes, Tyler Breeze, team up that they're doing, like the Pretty Team, I hope that's true because you need a new gimmick right now. They are killing it right now with your gimmick. But Apollo Crews comes out, does his thing, still weary on his special or his finisher, not a huge fan of it, but he comes out, looks strong, like dominates Tyler Breeze and gets over. Looks really strong. I honestly see Apollo Crews maybe getting involved in the United States title match somehow, just because there's some things going on with the Intercontinental title match, so we'll leave that. But I see Apollo Crews somehow getting involved in that. Not a match of between Kalisto, maybe a triple threat or something, just because Kalisto's a good guy, Apollo Crews is a good guy, or at least he was, so I don't see that happening. But nonetheless, first surprise of the night, Apollo Crews. Thumbs up. Next, we have Roman Reigns come out, and of course, boos galore. They tried to mess with the audio once again because, you know, WWE tries to be slick son of a bitches. They tried to mess with the audio, it didn't work. We heard the boos. We saw people with the thumbs up, the middle fingers. It was just whatever. Roman goes in the ring, and I think he says, I'm not a bad guy. I'm not a good guy. I'm just the guy. Whatever. He's cutting his promo, doing a decent job, but still getting booed. Then we hear him say, if anybody wants to come against me, come out now. And then we have Y2J come out. Then we have, I think it was AJ Styles, then Kevin Owens, then Sami Zayn. And I'm like, oh wow, interesting. They put all these guys up here already. And then I started to wonder what's going to happen. And they decided that everybody started fighting besides Roman, and then at the end of it all, Jericho was left in the ring. Roman spears him, and that's how that ends. And then they decided to say that there's going to be a fatal four-way at the end of the night with these 4 members to determine the #1 contender to go against Roman Reigns. So, like the members that were pushed up to the top of the queue, but Roman Reigns is still our champ, and with the love that Vince has for him, we don't know what's going to happen, but let's be honest, he's back there loving Roman, so we don't know what's going to happen. But nonetheless, we have a fatal four-way for the end of the night. I'm pretty excited because the show so far has been pretty good, pretty decent. Next, we have Baron Corbin coming out, giving a bit of a promo that was lackluster, let's be honest, talking about the Andre Memorial Battle Royal Trophy and how it means something, and that he doesn't have to prove anything to anybody. But when it comes to Baron Corbin, I think he's okay in NXT. I don't love him. I don't think he's amazing, but I think he's okay, and he deserves to be up here because he's been trying and working his ass off for so many years. And his character's simple. He's just a badass. He's just like a buff badass. So he decides to have a match tonight against who's gonna be the victim for Baron Corbin? Dolph Ziggler, because Dolph Ziggler is the best seller of anybody in wrestling, and they're gonna have him lose to Corbin because that's what he does. I mean, that's what he does. I mean, Dolph Ziggler is the jobber of the company, the top jobber, and it doesn't actually turn out like that. They put on a pretty decent match, so I enjoy this match. Baron looked okay, not great, but Dolph was able to do some things to make him look better. Something about it I found interesting was End of Days, which is Corbin's finisher, looked weak because Dolph kicked out of it. So I was like, why would they make that move look weak? That's weird. That's interesting. Nonetheless, Baron Corbin starts to fight outside, goes like way into the back, and then gets counted out and starts complaining to the ref or whatever. And then he says that what happens next is on you. And then he goes on to beat up Dolph Ziggler, gives him the End of Days outside, and then leaves. So it's looking like they're going to have a bit of a feud going forward. And I like Baron Corbin. Like I said, I think he deserves to be up here because of all the hard work he's put in. He's trying really hard. He needs to work on his mic skills, fix his gimmick, but Dolph Ziggler is good at putting people over, so thumbs up from me. Next brings us to the match that upset me. So the Zack Ryder comes out and he is just getting loved and the woo-woo chants and you deserve it chants and people are loving it, eating it up, and I'm like, yes. But in my head, I'm like, I had a feeling they were going to do this because yesterday at WrestleMania, I had a feeling that once Dolph won, I was like, how long is he going to keep it? And I had a feeling that they were going to do what they did tonight, and it sucks. Honestly, it sucks. I hate that. What was the point of taking it off of Owens? I don't understand. It was pointless. It upset me as hell. So yeah, so Dolph, so Zack's in the ring, talking, like saying that he's happy. He's worked so hard to be here. He's just got a WrestleMania moment. Then The Miz comes out. They get into it. The Miz baits Ryder into a match, and they decide to have a match. And for I actually enjoyed this match. I think it was a pretty decently good match. I think The Miz gets a lot of hate, but I think he's actually pretty decent in the ring. So they put on a pretty good match. They somehow end up outside, and The Miz starts talking trash to Zack Ryder's father, who's in the crowd, and he gets all up in his face and starts like touching him, and then Zack Ryder's father pushes him, and then we see this girl. I saw this girl in the distance, and I couldn't tell who it was, but there was this blonde girl going crazy. Next thing I know, she's hopping over the banister, and I'm like, wait, oh, I'm like, is that Maurice or Maurice, whatever the hell, the old like WWE women's she had the belt a while ago, and I'm like, oh wow, it's The Miz's wife because they're married or whatever, they're dating. She gets involved. She slaps Zack Ryder's father, and at this point, The Miz is already in the ring, and so is Zack Ryder. And then Zack Ryder's turning, looking at his father, and yelling at the Maurice, or whatever, I think Maurice or something like that. And then The Miz hits Zack Ryder with his finisher, and he wins the belt. And then Zack Ryder's in the corner, just beat up. And yeah, so this upset me because we took the belt off Zack Ryder. We took the belt off of Owens. Zack Ryder wins it. We think he's gonna get a push, and he loses the belt the next day. I hate when this happens. They make the people that win the belts look like idiots because he lost it the next day. Like, it makes him look like an idiot. Why would you let him be baited into this? But nonetheless, the match was decent. I'm assuming this is going to turn into a rivalry, and Zack Ryder will hopefully come out on top at the next pay-per-view. Let's hope for that. Let's really hope for that. So yeah, I thought the match was good. I just hated that they took the belt off of Ryder that quickly, honestly. So next we have Lita in the ring with a bunch of the women superstars in the WWE. And she's talking about, I guess this is like the formal presentation to Charlotte for the women's belt. So Charlotte comes out, Ric Flair's in the ring, and Ric Flair is surrounded by all these women. I'm just like, Rick, my boy, calm down. Don't do nothing stupid. We all know you're kind of crazy. Don't do nothing stupid. So yeah, Charlotte starts talking. There's a ton of Bayley chants going, like so many Bayley chants. So many Bayley chants. Then we got Sasha chants, and I'm like, oh my god, Bayley and Sasha are so over. It's insane. Then Charlotte starts saying that she did it. She was the one that made this change happen. She gives a little bit of acknowledgement to Becky and Sasha. But then she essentially keeps talking trash. All of the women leave except for Natalya. Natalya starts talking to Charlotte, saying that she needs to be put in her place, and I'm just like, so we have Sasha, who's at the peak of hotness right now, like at the peak, like she's on fucking fire. But instead, we're going to feed Natalya to Charlotte when everybody knows Natalya has no chance. Like, if you built Natalya, I think she's a great wrestler and she should be in this mix. But if you don't build her, what's this for? You have to build her. Nobody's gonna believe that Natalya has any chance. Like, if they're gonna use this month to build her, okay, I'm cool with that. They should have still gone with Sasha. You needed to go with Sasha. She's so hot right now. Or have Bayley come out. They're so hot right now. They're on fire. Nonetheless, Natalya and Charlotte get into it, and Ric Flair saves his daughter. He keeps saving his daughter, and that makes her look kind of weak. But it looks like we're going to get a Natalya versus Charlotte match at the upcoming pay-per-view. Becky had a really messed up eye. I didn't even know she was bleeding, but she had a really messed up eye. She was it's really bruised. I knew that she was had stitches because I saw it this morning, but I didn't know it was that bad. But yeah, her eye was messed up. But she put on a hell of a match. Divas match, or the women's match, triple threat, was amazing at WrestleMania. One of the best ones I've ever seen. So definitely a good moment. So I guess Natalya and Charlotte. No Sasha. Wonder what they're gonna do with her. Interesting. Next, we got a tables match with the Dudley Boyz and the Usos. The Usos didn't get as booed as I thought they were going to get, because they were getting booed before. The Dudleys and the Usos put on a decent match. Wasn't that fun. Honestly, it was okay. It was just a reversal of what happened at WrestleMania. This time the Usos went through the tables. There was a premature ringing of the bell, and Bubba was like yelling at the ring guy, and I thought it was hilarious. Honestly, I thought it was funny as hell, because they rang the bell when the Usos went through the table, but the Dudleys didn't put them to the table, so that's not how that works. So then Devon threw one of the Dudleys, one of the Usos, to the table, and it was a premature ringing, and I thought it was funny. But yeah, that match ends, and it was kind of okay. It was meh, not really that entertaining. But what happens next is where people lost their mind, because we hear that music. We hear that music, and fucking finally, ladies and gentlemen, Enzo and Big Cass are on the main roster. They come out to their music. Enzo's dancing. It's just, people are going insane. One of the biggest pops for a new member I've ever seen. It was amazing. They go to the ring. They do their intro. Everybody in the crowd knows it. They know it. They know it and they love it. And it's amazing. Then Enzo decides to go and roast the Dudleys. And he roasts the Dudleys bad. He's really great on the mic. Reminds me a lot of Road Dogg. And it's so amazing. And they're here. And it looks like they're going to be getting into a feud with the Dudley Boyz, because they roast them. When the Dudleys go to charge the ring, they decide to pull back. And that's when we get the soft chant. And it was glorious. Glorious. So then we have our Fatal 4-Way, which is going to be AJ Styles, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and Chris Jericho. There was something on Twitter that somebody said that Sami Zayn was like holding his shoulder walking to the back when they were on a commercial break, and I was worried. I'm like, no, Sami. No. Sami, no. No, Sami. But it looks like they had Kevin Owens attack Sami during an interview, and Sami was taken out of the picture for the Fatal 4-Way, which I don't know if it was a work or if that was an actual injury, because Kevin Owens did pretty much beat him up. So I don't know. I hope that it's not an injury. I really don't, because we all know how hard Sami's worked to get here. Let's hope it's not an injury, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hope. But they kept promoting the match like a Fatal 4-Way. So I'm like, okay, who is possibly going to show up here? Honestly, who's going to show up? I'm like, is it going to be John Cena? Is it John Cena? I was thinking, I mean, I was praying like Balor Club, but no, of course not. Was it going to be Samoa Joe? I'm thinking like really hard, like, who could it be? Then we hear the musics. We hear Kevin Owens, we hear Jericho, and we hear AJ Styles. And then we hear Cesaro's music. And Cesaro comes out in a glorious suit, looking all dapper. Then as he's walking, he rips it away. Comes out to a huge pop. People love Cesaro, and they go on to put on a phenomenal, great match. A match that made almost every match at WrestleMania, except for the triple threat women's title match, to me, look like a fucking joke. These four men put on a show for this crowd, and that's how you end the show. That's how you get everybody excited. That's how you make me just so proud to be a fan. Honestly, like, that's how you do it. It was a phenomenal, great show, and the phenomenal AJ Styles wins. He gets a title shot against Roman Reigns. He gets a title shot. It's AJ Styles versus Roman Reigns at a title shot at the next pay-per-view. Honestly, ladies and gentlemen, could we have asked for anything better? Like, we got to see Apollo. We got to see Enzo and Big Cass. We got to see Cesaro come back. We got to see AJ Styles win a title shot. But damn it, I enjoyed the hell out of the Raw RawAfterMania event, ladies and gentlemen. It was so good. I know somebody out there was saying that they like when I say ladies and gentlemen, and I do say that a lot, but damn it was so good. So good. Make sure that if you like this video, you comment below. Let me know your thoughts on Raw, and if I was wrong in what you thought, make sure you comment, like, subscribe, share the video, like the video. Let me know what you think, and as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!
And all that visions of sitting high on my own gold throne. Never listening criticism, I built my own. From the bottom, I've gotten myself in my own.